You can even make drugs. You didn't hear that from me.
It's raining, so the audio might get a little bad, but hope you still watch. So I want to practice my editing skills. So I'm gonna record a slight unicorn today. I'm sorry if you don't like that hairstyle, but it's way more comfortable on my part.
I really need to use this microphone because I don't have any other choice. My audio is pretty poor and I really want you guys to hear me as clear as possible. So, as you may or may not be aware of, I am a biochemistry student at the University of the Philippines. So, it's been a year since I started studying there, so I wanted to share some insight to you guys how it feels like being a biochemistry student and maybe some thoughts whether you should go to biochemistry or not. Okay, first, I'm gonna give you some tips and backgrounds. So, tip number 1, don't. Tip number 2, on a more serious note, don't. Just don't, man. You should love yourself. Don't make yourself suffer. So in this video, we're going to try and go over some of my experiences as a biochemistry student for my first year in the University of the Philippines. So if you're planning to take biochemistry or if you have biochemistry as one of your choices, then this video is just for you. So I'm going to go some of the misconceptions and some of my experiences in the pandemic. Since if you're not aware, my whole first year is practically online since our schools in the Philippines haven't yet been opened. The first thing that I would like to talk about is it's not a 50-50 split. This is one of the misconceptions in biochemistry. As you're familiar, biochemistry is composed of two words, biology and chemistry. So you would think that the subjects that they were going to teach us is half biology and half chemistry. And unfortunately, that's not true. In my first year, there were actually more mathematical subjects than chemistry subjects. So it should probably be called mathemistry or machemistry. There's not even a single biology class in my first year. So if you're looking forward to the biology section of biochemistry, in the first year, you're not gonna have any, since it's just pure math and chemistry. Now let's talk about the core subjects. So the core subjects are courses that are part of your program and they are specialized just for your course. In my case, as a first year biochemistry student, our subjects tend to focus more on mathematics and chemistry more than anything else. In my first semester, I had Math 83 and Math 101. Then after that, on my second semester, I have Math 84, which is more on calculus as well. On the other hand, there is still chemistry present for the course. So in my first semester, I have Chem 19, and for my second semester, I have Chem 33. And lastly, on my mid-semester, we're gonna talk about mid-semester more later, but on my mid-semester, I have my Chem 111. So a bunch of chemistry, yes. A bunch of mathematics, yes, why not? But we didn't have a single biology course. I think we're gonna have some biology units in our third year and fourth year, but as of the moment, I'm not feeling the bio part in biochemistry. Aside from Math 84 and Math 83 and Math 101, we also had physics classes. And unfortunately, as you may or may not be aware of, physics is full of math and formulas. It's just basically concepts of maths and formulas about the world. So yeah, more math there. It needs a lot of effort. I know this is probably going to be true for other courses as well in the University of the Philippines or in fact any other university, but I would like to emphasize the amount of work that you need to put into in certain subjects. For example, I had a certain subject in chemistry. Our chemistry is actually split into two. One for the LEC counterpart and one for the lab counterpart. And for the lab counterpart, we usually have to turn in reports every week. Luckily, this is by groups, so I could gain help from my classmates, but we still had to do this every week, regardless of whether an exam is present or not. Whether you're in the first semester, second semester, mid-semester, you're going to have lab reports. We even had one for our physics, and it was also weekly as well. So you can imagine, we had a bunch of lab reports. So aside from lab reports for the lab experiment section of our courses, we also had to take examinations. During my high school, I only had 2 examinations every semester. Unfortunately, college is slightly different. You still get the one final examination for each semester, but there are these departmental exams. These departmental exams impact your grade almost as much as final exams. And these departmental exams are taken once every 2 to 3 weeks. So there's really a lot of things that you're going to do. I think this is true for most science courses. There's going to be a lot of exams and then a lot of lab reports. So next thing that I would like to emphasize is the GEs. I'm not sure what the GEs mean. I asked some people and they say it means general electives. The internet says it's general education, which makes me unsure of what it is, but I'm just going to call it GE. The GEs are the subjects that the students can choose for themselves. These are divided into two categories. So we have the core GEs and the elective GEs. So the core GEs are GEs that must be included in your curriculum. So these are the courses that you can choose when to put it in your curriculum, but you're gonna have to take it eventually before you graduate. So these courses include CAS 1, STS 1, Ethics 1, Com 10, and then Wika 1, and then Math 10. So those are the 6 courses that every student in the University of the Philippines must take before graduating. On the other hand, we have the elective GEs. So elective GEs are among the courses that you can choose for yourself. You only need to take 2 of them, but you have multiple choices that you can pick out of. These include the Science 10, SAS 1, Arts 1, Science 11, and PhilArts 1. That's 5.
I'm sure there's 6 and I didn't write the other one, but there are 6.
NSTP and PE. So NSTP, or the National Service Training Program, is one of the courses that teaches students to value their country. Usually this is charitable and they teach students how to do stuff on how to serve the country, of course. And then there's PE, physical education. So both NSTP and PE actually are not part of your grades. So for example, even if you scored an uno on both your NSTP and your PE, it won't really affect your grade. Whether your grades are 3 or uno, it won't really affect your grades at all. But I do recommend noticing this subject, because if you fail this subject, you're still gonna have to retake it. Anyway, the NSTP is divided into 3 categories. So that's ROTC, CWATS, and LTS. As a student, you're gonna have to choose one of these 3 program components. So personally, I chose CWATS since according to my classmates, or CWTS, this was the easiest. Unfortunately, it was just the same with the rest. But for more information, I'm gonna provide a link in this description so that you could have more idea on what NSTP is. Now we're going to go into the topic of one of the most memorable things for me as a biochemistry student that I did not expect: the mid-year. The mid-year is basically school during summer vacation. So my 3 months of vacation is reduced into 1 week. Unfortunately, it's a requirement that I was not aware of. So story time, I thought I was going to have a vacation after my 2nd semester. So I started celebrating with my classmates, telling them, congratulations guys, we're going to finally have our vacation and the rest that we deserve. And one of them told me that we still have mid-year. At the time, I thought it was something that wasn't compulsory. I thought it was optional for students who wanted to go faster in their curriculum or whatever. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case. And I took the mid-year. I did meet some lovely teachers there. I would say I really like the teachers, but I still would like that vacation. And I can't ever take that back. So, unfortunately, if you're going to be a biochemistry student in the University of the Philippines, Manila specifically, you're going to have to take a mid-year. It's a requirement for all 3 years. From your 1st year to your 2nd year to your 3rd year, you're going to take it until your graduation. Unfortunately, you're going to have no summer vacation. And if you're taking it, I'm sorry for your loss. The vacation. You don't get any. Period. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about... No, I'm just kidding. You do get a vacation, but it's pretty short. I have to tell you that it's actually very short. Your vacation does not go over a month. So unfortunately for you who is expecting a summer vacation, you're not gonna get any. You probably have enough vacation during the pandemic. So there's that. But in summary, for the summer vacation, you're gonna have at least 1 to 2 weeks of summer vacation and a maximum of 3 to 4 weeks worth of summer vacation. Now let's talk about the benefits. Now I'm gonna be honest with you. I've talked to a lot of people regarding their benefits and other people telling us what are the benefits of picking the course of biochemistry, and I must tell you, it's actually a lot. If you pick biochemistry and you were able to say graduate and did well on your course or program, then you're gonna have a lot of opportunities. So to name some, you could use biochemistry as a pre-med. So you could become a doctor. You could use it to become a forensic scientist, to become a researcher, to become a chemist. You can actually take the chemist licensure exam if you're interested. And then an industrial chemist, so it means producing products such as soaps and so on and so forth. You can become a pharmacist, not really a pharmacist, but those who manufactures drugs. You can even make drugs. You didn't hear that from me. No, I'm just kidding. Even if you have a course with a bunch of math, no summer vacation, and a lot of work, it's gonna be worth it because you're going to have a lot of opportunities presented to you. Some courses only present one opportunity that you're going to be able to take. But in biochemistry, in all honesty, there's a lot of choices that you can choose. You just have to put some time to research on whether you could take it or not. So these are the things that you're gonna need to expect when you're going into UP. At my first start, I was a bit confused since I wasn't sure where I was exactly going. There was a bunch of subjects that I didn't understand that I didn't know I needed. But eventually, I'm sure you'll be able to make it on your own. For the next video, I actually got some interviews of my classmates on what they think about biochemistry. And maybe you could get some tips and some inspiration on whether you should take biochemistry in the University of the Philippines. Once again, I apologize for my unicorn head. It's a really comfortable unicorn. Switch chairs. Switch. Oh my god. Switch. Magic. Presto. Oh my god.